What's a harmless, non-serious secret you've kept forever? My mom is a health nut, with probably disordered eating, who wouldn't let us have cheese in the house when I was kid. When I was mid-20s, I bought a unit and my dad was helping me fix stuff up, so I provided lunch. I said to him, "Bet you're going to hate going back to work next week and not have any cheese on your sandwiches." It was then he told me his deepest secret. He had been buying blocks of cheese at work for years. I had no idea he was crafty. And my mom still doesn't. Poor dad has been retired for years though, so not sure on the current cheese consumption status. First marriage to my late wife. On the day of the wedding, the ring got stolen out of my car. I was freaking out. My two best men went into overdrive and took a picture I had of the ring and went to I don't know how many jewelry stores explaining what had happened and if they had a ring that was similar. They went to this really great jewelry maker, so said, "I have something that is really close. Give me a bit and I can make it perfect." He worked his ass off and got it done with about an hour to spare. Plus they managed to get my window fixed. The three of us are the only ones who know. I ended up using that jewelry maker for any jewelry I needed, and well, I haven't stopped yet. He ended up telling my best men to not worry about the price and for me to come down after the honeymoon to work it out. I did, and he gave it to me at the cost of the materials. He is a great guy. He retired during COVID. My mom won a prize from SiriusXM at the beginning of the pandemic that never arrives even after she followed up. She had been so excited to win something for the first time that I finally found a record store with the items she won, paid for them, and arranged with them to use a generic shipping label and include an apology for the delay and "Congrats for winning" label. She loves her prize and forgives them for re-delay. When my wife died, she had been working on special occasion letters for all of our kids. Towards the end, the cancer had spread to her brain and she wasn't able to focus on writing much. And when she did, it was often unintelligible gibberish. I tried to help her by taking dictation, but she said it would mean more if it was in her own handwriting and wanted to finish it. She slipped into a coma and died after only getting through a handful of letters for our eldest child, leaving addressed envelopes only for our other two kids. I knew this would be devastating for the three kids, and possibly create conflict. So I paid a woman who specialized in calligraphy to literally duplicate my wife's handwriting. I gave her the content, channeling my wife's comments she made to me about what I thought would be meaningful words to our three kids when I had helped her dictate a few. And, as she wanted, I have passed them out on special occasions of wedding dates, birth of first child dates, first day of college dates, etc. My kids don't know. They've even shared the ones she actually wrote with ones written by her surrogate, and thus far the secret remains safe. I haven't told anyone else this but Reddit, and hope it stays here a secret as well. I'll take it to my grave. I consider it harmless as it was her intent, but cancer robs so much from people afflicted with it, including their best, most sincere attempts at helping others cope with the loss themselves. In 1998, I had a friend who was stuck in a very toxic situation at her home. She had an opportunity for a new start across country in Oregon. She had a Dodge Neon that was hanging on for dear life and decided to pass on the opportunity for fear the car wouldn't make the trip. I told her I had a friend that was a mechanic that owed me a favor and he would give the car a tune up for free. I didn't really have a friend that was a mechanic. We were both 18 with not much money, but I used all of my savings to pay to have her car made road worthy for the trip. She's a mother of 4 now with a great job and thriving in Oregon. When my brother was 4, he won a stuffed animal from a claw machine and it was his favorite thing ever. Slept with it every night for weeks. He fell asleep on the couch and was carried to bed but left his stuffed animal on the floor and the dog decided to tear it to pieces during the night. I spent $40 trying to win another one and put it under his bed for him to find. What is a movie that everyone has seen except you? Schindler's List. I suspect it'll make me feel terrible. Godfather. Titanic, 1997. Fast and Furious. Scarface. The Matrix. What food isn't better homemade? Croissants. Laminating dough is hell, and if you don't do it properly or if you let it get slightly too warm, you don't get that light, airy interior. So much better to just go to a local bakery. Most candy making is hard. But for me, refried beans, I know, it's the lard, but mine are never nearly as good. Puff pastry. Ketchup. I've had way too many funky, artisanal ketchups that taste like someone had the concept of ketchup described to them. Sushi. A really top-notch sushi chef just has way more skill and personal connections with the people in the supply chain to get the top quality fresh fish and ingredients. Anything deep fried. It's not necessarily any worse than in restaurants, but I just don't think it's worth it. It consumes way too much oil and makes your house and clothes smell of oil for days after cooking. You've been offered a job in a desolate location miles from civilization that pays 10x more than what you currently make. Would you move and take the job? Yes. My dream is a desolate Montana cabin, in a non-creepy way. Does it have high-speed internet? I was about to say yes. But no, I'm trying to figure out what kind of job would need me to be miles away from anyone else, while paying $200 an hour. Who TF am I working for? The SCP Foundation? $400,000 a year? Dude, I could pay off my car loan after my first 2 paychecks and my student loans after another month or so. After that, everything is gravy, and if I start to go crazy, I've built up a sizable enough nest egg that I could just quit and go back to civilization debt-free. Yes, I would absolutely. I'm more of an introvert, so that's perfect for me. I hate nosy neighbors. Lols. Sure. As long as it's not being the off-season caretaker of a hotel up in the Colorado Rocky Mountains. What is the worst response to, I am pregnant? Someone in my buddy circle became pregnant after a casual relationship a few years ago. She kept calling, texting him to let him know. They didn't actually hang out on a regular basis, but he never responded. Finally, she contacted him. Hey, we really need to talk. I'm pregnant, to which he replied, this is his mother. He died last week. Don't text this number anymore. It's too painful. But then she ran into him at the mall a week later. Is it yours? Maybe get a second opinion. You might just be fat. I was pregnant during my last semester at college and I was puking in between finals. While retching in the bathroom, a girl asked, Gee, are you okay? Quote, Yeah, I'm pregnant. Gee, oh, I'm sorry. I'm married and graduating after this semester. Gee, oh, congratulations. Quote, still cracks me up. That sounds like a you problem. Him, oh my God. What are we going to do? Quote, me, well honey. We're in our 30s. We've been married for 7 years and trying for a baby for 2 years. So I'm thinking, keep it? Quote, what video game have you played the most? Civilization 5 is probably the game I've played the most. But I've also sunk significant time into Halo 3, Reach. That was back in the day when I had the time and inclination to play multiplayer. These days I try hard not to become obsessed with one game. I want to experience different things. Gotta be classic Diablo 2, LOD. Game was like crack for me and my friends back in the day. Close second is probably Divinity Original Sin 2. Probably World of Warcraft. I wasted my youth in that game. The entire Elder Scrolls series, thousands of hours between Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. The Witcher 3. Minecraft. Subscribe, my brothers.